Hello everyone, it's Gromit&ThomasFan01 here, and welcome to my cracking video. There have been many special key moments in the Thomas and Friends history. There was the Railway series books, which were first published in 1945. There was also the TV series, which first aired in 1984, and there was also Thomas and the Magic Railroad, which was Thomas the Tank Engine's first feature-length film. But there was one special key moment, which was from an episode from Series 4 that not only inspired Thomas and the Magic Railroad, but also marked the 100th episode overall in the series, and that episode is called Thomas and the Special Letter. This review is for my good friend Kevin, who is one of my friends on one of my social media pages. This is also one of his favourite episodes from Series 4, and I can honestly see why. But first, let's explain the story before I give my thoughts on this great classic episode. One evening, Thomas is bringing his last train of the day to Elsbridge Station, where he meets Percy and Toby. They've all been asked to go to the big station. Before they could discuss what on earth is going on, a whole parade of engines race past the station, also off to the big station too. Soon the little engines follow the big engines to the station, which turns out to be Tidmouth Sheds. The Fat Controller is there with a letter from a little girl asking if she and her friends could meet his engines. The Fat Controller then announces that he has taken some of his engines to the mainland to meet them. The engines are excited, especially Thomas. However, when Thomas has an accident, will he still be able to go to the mainland with his friends, or will he have to stay on Sodor and miss out all the fun? I really love this episode, and I can see why it inspired Thomas and the Magic Railroad. The episode has a good structure that could have been made into a feature film. I mean, it wouldn't have been great, as it doesn't have enough ideas to expand to a film, but the episode is perfect as it is. It has a good story structure, but it does feel that everything in the plot feels perfect during its 5-minute running time. You can see the seed of the idea that it was obvious that a feature film for Thomas was going to happen. What I love mainly is how this episode is made. For example, the lighting in the beginning of the plot is beautiful. It feels very atmospheric and feels so realistic in this world that we are so familiar with for all these years. It is also shot so cinematically too. There are loads of classic episodes in Thomas that have that cinematic feeling that feel very authentic too, like the shot of Thomas crashing down the hill. Another thing I love is how they film Thomas's crash. It feels so action-packed and comical all at once, and this is all in about a 10-second scene. The badly broken buffer on Thomas's model makes a nice touch to this scene too. Speaking of the models, all of them are superbly detailed. It just goes to show that the love that goes into making these models and the sets shows on the screen, especially in the classic series. The hard work really pays off in this episode, and it makes me appreciate the classic series even more. Even though I love this classic episode, I would personally love to see the episode extended. As it was the 100th episode, it could have been made into a bigger story, like the running time could have been made into about 10 minutes instead of 5. But then again, this episode was loosely based on the Railway series story, The Fat Controller's Engines, from the book, The 8 Famous Engines, so they couldn't expand the story if they wanted to. Overall, I love this episode. It's not one of my favourites, but I still love watching it over and over again. It has an interesting story and is beautifully shot too. I'm Gromit&ThomasFan01, and I hope you enjoyed the video.